Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Asim. I'm working as DevOps engineer. Guys, in this video, we are going to set up the EKS logging and logging of our all pods, which we are going to deploy on our EKS cluster. So, guys, for that, we are going to use the Terraform, and the infrastructure is going to be like that. We are going to use the Elasticsearch and Fluent bit. So what I've done, I've set up a repository for you guys. So architecture is going to be like that our pods are going to send logs to the Fluent bit, and Fluent bit is going to send logs to Elasticsearch cluster. So I'm going to show you all the steps. So it is pretty easy, and through Terraform, it is pretty much automated. You just need to watch this particular video till end. So let's begin. In past, what I've done, if you simply navigate to the YouTube and type Cloud Geeks, you will see that I have created the Terraform EKS cluster setup EKS service account. That video is actually linked with this. If you want to see in detail, although it is not required, you can watch this particular video, and it will give you more understanding regarding the EKS service account creation through the Terraform, and we have used the managed modules. So in this video, we are going to also use the Terraform managed modules. The advantage of using the managed modules, that is the works is which has been done by someone else with the great experts of Terraform. So and they're going to actually make new releases every month or week, whatever their criteria is. But you will get the latest version. You have the versioning of latest code, and definitely you can use that particular existing modules, Terraform modules in your production and dev environments. So so let's begin. My container is not started, so let me start my container. Right. So let's do that and let start Docker start sandbox. Okay, let me start this container. The container is started, and now what I'm going to do, uh, let's see, it started Docker exec into this sandbox container and into bash. Okay, so it is mounted to slash mnt. So if I just refresh it, I should be able to access my container. And what we are going to do, we are going to actually use our AWS account, Sandbox account, to deploy all the infrastructure from scratch. So let's do that. So guys, this is our account. What we are going to do, we are going to do first of all clone this repo, and I'm going to show you the steps what you need to do to perform this demo and then apply later on in your production. You can use the HTTPS as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply clone this guy, right, and uh, cd into this guy. What you need to do, my AWS access keys and secret access keys I've already configured. So what I'm going to do, first of all, create a key, run the script key.shell. It is going to create a key for our worker nodes, right? And we are going to use this key. And then we are going to source the EKS env. So I'm going to show you all the steps. So what we need to do, then if I navigate to this section main.tf, I need to create a bucket for my backend. So this bucket is actually not created. Either you can create with AWS CLI or manually. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply create this bucket manually, and the state file of our infrastructure is going to be living in this particular bucket, right? So let's create that and enable the versioning, right? So let's do that, create it, and now what we are going to do, we are going to do Terraform init. right? So it is going to do the initialization by installing all the modules. So let me show you the stuff what we are going to do here. So let's first of all let it download. And this is the AWS provider, right, guys? And this is the bucket we have created for the backend, and we are creating VPC for this demo EKS VPC. In this particular VPC, our EKS cluster is going to be launched with these cider range values, right? So, and we are going to have one NAT gateway, right? So this is the basic structure. I just want to show you that what our infrastructure is going to be. So we have public private subnets, right? Then we are going to have, by the way, this is the managed module we are using here, and another uh, module which we are calling module EKS. This is also the managed module with this version. You can test the latest version or whatever. So we are going to use the cluster version 1.23, although 1.24 is also available. And here we are actually calling the VPC ID and private subnets from the above module, which we have created with the VPC. So create EKS true and kubeconfig, right? Enable IRSA for the service account which we are going to create, and then we are going to create node groups, and the node group name is going to be this, and we are going to use only one worker node for this demo, and T3 medium we are going to use for that. And this is the tagging enabled for the carpenter, which I've covered in my past videos. You can watch that particular video. So what is carpenter, how we can set it up. Other than that, for this demo, we are going to uh, use this module of Elasticsearch, right? And we are going to also use the manage module of CloudPost. This is the module, and this is the version which we are going to use. And definitely, we are actually updating this particular module with our namespace and stage, so you can definitely update according to your need. So in security groups, I'm giving two security groups here. One is of default VPC and other is of EKS worker nodes group. You can definitely reduce the scope according to your need, as this is the demo. So that's why I'm adding multiple security group, and while testing, I've test this code as well. So this is the VPC ID and the private subnets we are going to use, because we are going to use the Elasticsearch, and that particular Elasticsearch cluster is going to be only available in our VPC. So how can we access that? For that, we are going to use the VPN. So I'm going to show you that. So in past, I've created videos with regard to the OpenVPN and Tunnel as well. You can watch those particular videos. You can simply create your own setup with almost in 5-10 minutes by running a simple script, and all is going to be in Docker containers. So I'm going to show you that, but detailed videos are going to be definitely are available actually on my YouTube channel. You can watch those particular videos. So I've enabled the zone awareness, which means the highly available zone awareness. We are going to use the US East 1A, 1B, and 1C. For instance, if you see your VPC, you see, and these are the AZs which we are using. So that what is I've enabled here for the high availability, and the instance count is going to be 3 EBS size is just very minimal, 10 gigs, right? And the ARNs, this data is going to actually fetch up our AWS account ID, and this is the ARN for my user, cloud user, right? And I've added additional for UI. So this is regarding the Elasticsearch. And then later on, we are going to create a policy automatically. So one thing before explaining everything, let me do the Terraform apply, because guys, this I mean, infrastructure will take about 25 to 30 minutes approximately, right? Because in sequence, it is going to create the first VPC, then it is clustered, then it is going to launch our Elasticsearch. So this is time consuming. Till then, definitely I'm going to pause the video. But while it is deploying the infrastructure, you see it has already started. I'm going to explain that what our infrastructure is going to be, what we are going to do. So it is pretty much easy, but I mean, you just have to understand what has been there, and you can easily set up your environments with this code. So this is the policy we are creating with the managed module. So this is the module we are using with this version right now. Maybe the latest version is different, but this is the version we have used, right? So create policy true, and then we are going to use the policy to allow this EK service account to access Elasticsearch. So in this particular policy, what we are doing here, we are going to simply provide this EKS, ES HTTP by allowing Fluent bit only to have this policy, and we are going to provide this module Elasticsearch domain ARN, which is going to be available. So it has a dependency, which means that when our Elasticsearch cluster has been deployed, then it is going to create this particular policy, right? So then this policy we are going to use simply with our EK service account role. Here we are also using this manage module. So I'm just giving a little bit more description here. So this assume role is going to be pretty much like that. We are if you attach policy to your EC2 instance, and it is going to assume that particular service. So this is the one, which means that if that service account has this role ARN, so it is going to only access only that service account has access to this particular role. But detail, as I already discussed, I've covered in my previous tutorial with the EKS service account, right? The From the security perspective, I covered two types of accounts there, so you can definitely watch those. So that is pretty much it regarding that. So currently, as I discussed, it will take some time. It will create BBC EKS cluster. Then, once the EKS cluster is ready, then it is going to simply create that. But definitely, I have to cover from the theory perspective some of the stuff. So this is regarding the Terraform infrastructure. So then. We are creating EKS service accounts, all automated in automated way through Terraform. Then if you navigate to this section, this is a directory flow in bit. Here we have four files. One is the namespace YAML. Here we're just creating namespace logging, right? So it is pretty much simple. So in the service account, what we are going to do once this service account flow in bit, which is going to be deployed by this Terraform module, we simply need to update this account ID. And the namespace we are going to use logging, right? So we are going to simply update that. So let's do that. And what I'm going to do, okay, let's close extra stuff. So I'm going to take another shell into this, and what I will be doing, I will be updating the um, sandbox, updating this particular file, right? So if I navigate to this Terraform section, and if I navigate to this Fluent bit, and if I do nano to this guy, like the second file, right? So what I need to do, I need to update the account ID, right? And so simply you need to do this way. So if you navigate to this section, click this guy and simply paste it, and I'm going to save it. Right, and that's all we need to do. But definitely, we are not going to apply straight away. Let me show you the README MD, right? So if I navigate back to this section, README MD, and once everything is deployed, we are going to also update the policy, uh, which is going to be actually is part of our Elastic search cluster, right? I'm going to show you that once everything is deployed. So currently everything it is in progress. You see deployment of our EKS cluster is in the way. So okay, so this I will show you this part later. Once everything is deployed, we are going to update that particular policy before doing the kubectl apply. And the other thing I need to show you guys, I show you guys that I need to this file we have updated update file service account and the update file 3 dash fluent bit YAML. So we need to simply update the line number 78 and 82. So let's first of all see what we need to update here. And you see, okay, I might be the numbering is gone wrong. Let's okay, but we need to update the endpoint of our uh, Elasticsearch clusters simply. And if you have a different region other than US East one, then you just have to simply update this guy. Otherwise, you just simply need to update this line number 78. So if I navigate back to this section, so do nano to this guy fluent bit and okay, so we need to simply update this guy. So what I'm going to do for the time being, I'm saying update me. So I'm going to save it. Region is fine, right? So simply I'm going to save it, and this is the stuff we need to do. And other than that, I'm also going to show you how our logs are going to be pushed in our Elasticsearch cluster, and we are going to view our logs through Kibana, right? So let's go back and okay, the numbering seems to be okay. 78 and 82 seems to be okay. So I think I need to update this section 76. I will do that. So okay, now I'm going to show you the stuff with regard to the VPN. So let's do that after a short break. So guys, I'm back now. I just need to give you demonstration regarding our Open VPN setup. Why we need it? Because as I just discussed, this is the very, very secure production level infrastructure we are setting up here. So it is not going to be publicly available. So for that, we need to set up a VPN, and you can set up unlimited number of users, like how many developers. I mean, definitely you can set up 5 to 10 developers, whatever who wants to access this logging area. You can set up the VPN for that, and we are going to exactly do that for our developers and for us as well, because we are not going to simply access this particular Kibana, right? So that's why we need a VPN, and securely we are going to access that. So let's do that right now. So let me show you first of all Open VPN file. So this is the VPN file I've set up. I have videos regarding Open VPN. So simply need to type Cloud Geeks, right? So simply type Cloud Geeks, and here you need to navigate to this section and type VPN. You will see videos with regard to the VPN, lot of stuff, but for this demo, I mean, either you can set up the tunnel, right, or you can set up the Open VPN. So I've choose to use the Open VPN, add unlimited user. Similarly, you can use unlimited user in the tunnel as well. So with MFA two-factor authentication, so everything is totally free, right? So you can do that. So now we are going to do is to spin up a instance. You can use the T3 is small as well. I mean T3 small instance as well. So uh, let's try to do that. But I'm going to go for the T3 medium as this is the demo. So if you have like 10 to 15 people's or 20 people who are going to access this VPN, you can set up the T3 medium. So I'm going to call this guy Open VPN, right? Excuse me. So this is the Open VPN, and as I discussed, as this is the demo. So I'm going to go for the T3 medium. This is the key which I'm going to use. In fact, which we have actually created at the start of the video by running that particular script which we have created, right? So I need to edit this network. We are not going to launch definitely this guy in default VPC network because our Kibana and Elasticsearch cluster is living here. So I need to launch this guy here. So subnet is going to be definitely public subnet, so it is selected. So enable auto assign public IP. If you want to see detail, I do recommend to use the DNS with this. I mean public DNS. So I've all covered in my OpenVPN video. So but this is the demo. So I'm going for this um, public IP. Either you can simply create a static elastic IP and hook to this EC2 machine, but everything is going to be same. So I'm explaining you the stuff which you need to consider regarding this infrastructure. So I'm going to go for the default security group, and just I'm going to go for the 30 gigs of BS, and I think that is pretty much it. One thing you can do regarding the access, you can simply add a role and use the SSM, but I've already have the key, so that's why I'm using this method, and let's launch it. And other thing I need to update here once it is launched. So you see this is launched. Click this security section, just scroll it down, open this default security group. So by default, in a default security group, either it is a default APC or custom APC, default security group has these values. All traffic allow inside its own security group, which is the self. So I need to update this guy. So uh, by also I consider the security consideration. I'm going to only allow my IP. I mean, yeah, my IP, and HTTP is going to be HTTPS is going to be my IP, right? So 443 actually. Let me show you that part why I've enabled it to my IP only. So if you navigate to this section, so I've mounted this 443 port with 11 1194, which is the default. So that's why I've done this. So anyway, what I need to do, I need to simply copy this file, and simply first of all I'm trying to access this guy. So okay, I have this issue. I'm going to fix it. So the issue is regarding this IAM service role. So what I've done, I've actually added the fix here. So I'm going to update this error regarding this error shortly, right? So guys, as it is stated that this service role name has already been taken. So if you navigate to this module, so if you simply navigate to this section of the Elasticsearch, right? This is the last thing. So I've added the detail regarding the set it to false if you have already Elasticsearch created. Sometimes it throws an error. So just what we need to do, we are going to okay, we are going to save this and set it to false, right? And let's try to run our Terraform again. So and let's let me also update the main TF as well. So guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply apply the changes again. So I've set it to false. So we do have some issues actually. I saw in the Slack channel. You can definitely read these error, but it's not a big thing. You can simply set it to false and simply do the apply again, right? So I've done that. And regarding our OpenVPN, so what we're going to do, we are going to simply do the SSH, and we are going to use this particular file. So let me take a shell. Okay, another shell. If I do docker ps docker exec, okay, docker exec interactive shell into this guy, which is the sandbox, right? And let's do cd and let me show you. This is the file. This is the file which is actually created by that particular script. So I'm going to do chmod 0400 to this file, right? And do that Terraform. So I'm going to use this file to take take a shell into that particular machine. EC2 dash user, and let's see, everything is working now. So if I navigate to the section in my console and navigate to the section, okay, first one navigate to the EC2 get public IP of VPN, and then we are going to move to our Elasticsearch and just type open search. So click here and navigate to the domains once the UI is populated. So if you navigate to the domains, you see the process has started and the creation of this particular domain, Elasticsearch domain, is in progress, right? So where we are going to simply do SSH into this particular machine from our IP securely, right? And if I do sudo -i, and I'm going to say nano vpn.shell. So in this shell, actually, I'm installing the Docker as well. That's what we need to set up this VPN, right? So I'm going to copy this guy, and in fact, I need to copy this guy in the script, right? Let's do the pasting here, save it, yes, make it executable, chmod plus x, and this vpn.shell. So you need to simply follow the instruction regarding this VPN. So simply run the script. So I've set it up in a way that it is going to install the Docker on this Amazon Linux, and we are going to also update the values. And the script is going to ask itself, right? So what does, it is going to pull the latest image what I've set up. So it is asking, please enter your server IP or DNS name. So I do recommend to use the DNS name, or do the static IP, right? And to use the static IP. So I'm going to simply use this particular IP, and I'm going to set up a passphrase for my CA key. So let's do that. I'm going to call this, I'm going to set up a passphrase. So let's do that. Let's do one more time. press enter. So it is going to simply create the 2048-bit long encryption key for us. So you see the process is pretty much automated. Till then, our infrastructure is actually deploying the tab on the left side. It will take about 10 to 15 minutes. So in the meantime, you see we are setting up our VPN and the required stuff we need for this infrastructure. So it is asking for again to provide the ca.key. So let's provide the passphrase, right? So you need to provide this passphrase one more time with the certificate authority. So then it is going to say if you want to add a user to this guy, you can add that. So please provide a client name. Client name is going to be that particular user. Let's say my user is Asim. I'm going to simply press enter. So it is going to say now provide a passphrase for this particular user Asim. So I'm going to provide the passphrase. So let's do that. Provide one more time. And now it says sign up with that particular certificate authority. I need to provide the passphrase of the certificate authority, right? Not of this user. So you see everything is okay. And if I do ls here, asim.ovpn is actually set it up for us. So what I need to do is to do the get out the contents of this asim.ovpn file. So simply what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this file with all the certificates. So let's do that. And all right, I'm going to create a file here, right? So take in the shell. Okay, so or simply do to navigate to the desktop or navigate to the sandbox, right? And I think we have web. So do awesome.ovpn, and I'm going to simply press okay. But one thing very important, I need to tell you that as we have mapped the ports, so this port is not available. This port is mapped to 443. So you just need to make sure you need to update this port to 443, right? And I'm going to save this guy, right? So we have this awesome.ovpn file available. So while our infrastructure is in progress, what we are going to do, we are going to import this file, but definitely we're not going to do the connectivity. So simply import this file. So this is our awesome.ovpn file. So then I'm going to try to connect, but it is going to ask me for the passphrase which we have actually provided for this particular user. You can add n number of user to set it up, but right now our main focus is actually the deployment of this infrastructure what we have created. So I'm going to pause the video. I will be back once all this infra is set up. So I've shown you some of the errors as well, which you need to fix quickly, and what you need to do regarding those. So uh, let's see you shortly. So guys, our infrastructure is successfully set up, and it's time to do the access. So you see this is the output. So that part is pretty much finished, right? So one thing I need to show you guys, if you navigate to this section and if you try to click this guy, definitely we are not in this particular VPC. That's why we have set up the VPN, right? So even you see the Kibana URL. But one thing, as per our working, we need to update the stuff. So what you need to do is to simply copy this guy, right, and copy this section and do ls and nano update the endpoint in this file. So we are going to navigate to the section to update this. update me, right? So host, so you need to remove this update dash me and simply paste it. So make sure you just remove this slash at the end and just provide this endpoint without HTTPS. So simply save it, right? That's it. And other thing we need to update, if you see what we need to update, let me show you this part. So if you navigate to this section, domains, right? So let me show you from the start. So what you need to do, click on this domain section, right? In that particular domain section, you will see the tab next to this cloud cluster configuration. There is a security configuration, right? So if you scroll it down, currently we don't have the ARN of that particular role, service account role, which we have created through the Terraform. So that Fluent bit role is what we have created through the Terraform. So if you navigate to the section, let's say I mean, just type I'm here, right? And just type Fluent dash bit. You will see that particular role, service account role, which we have created through Terraform. Navigate to the section role. That particular role is actually created. So click this role section, just type FLU. You see this role is actually created. What we need to do is to update the policy, and we are going to simply update the policy through Terraform. And so what we need to do, navigate to the section readme.md, and we are going to simply copy this section, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to update the main TF, just use the nano. Okay, so here in the Elasticsearch, what I'm going to do, I'm going to update the ARN of that particular role which we have created. So currently we have added the user role and everything, and I'm going to simply put one comma here, right? And seems like everything seems to be correct. And okay, so let's do it one more time with Win. So because Nano seems to be not doing the coloring stuff, so that's why I have to switch to Vim, and let's try to do that one more time. So I'm going to update the ARN, right? Just navigate to N, press I for insert, put comma, and right click it. So seems to be okay, and I'm going to save it. So let's try to do Terraform apply. You can apply specific module as well. Apply target um, module dot dash target. If I remember the command correctly, Elastic search. So it is going to only do the apply on that particular module if the command is correct, as long as I remember. So let's try to apply that. So, okay, add the URL. Okay, let's try to. only is going to change this policy, and what we need to do is to only change the policy to that particular ARN on that service account which we have created. So it is currently modifying, and it will not take a lot of time. So let's see. So if the policy is okay, it's going to be output is going to be okay. Otherwise, it is going to throw an error. So seems everything is okay. So navigate back to the section and navigate back to this section. You see, currently we don't have any ARN of that service account. So just simply refresh it. You will see that service ARN role is going to be available, which is this Fluent bit, right? So now what we are going to do, and we are going to actually apply the stuff, right? Okay, so first of all, what we need to do is to import our cluster. Okay, so here we are. So if I do, if you do kubectl get nodes, what is the error we get? We don't have anything available. So we are going to simply import our cluster AWS EKS update kubeconfig, name of the cluster, right? Cloud Geeks EKS dev, and the region is US East, US East one. Let's see if I don't have any typos. So let's try to do the previous command. So we do have only one node cluster. It should throw us the output correctly. So and simply I'm going to copy this guy, and um, what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually import our cluster outside this container. So I'm going to open this in my kubectl in my lens, right? So kubectl get nodes. So okay, so I'm going to open lens, right? So once you import it, it is by default look for that home user.kube directory, and that we have imported our context. So let it open in the lens, navigate to this section. You see it is now available. Click this guy, and we should be able to access our AWS EKS cluster, which we have spin up through the Terraform. And if you navigate to the section workloads, pods, and currently we don't have anything, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to do the apply. I think I've updated everything. So what I need to do is to do kubectl apply hyphen f and apply all the files. So by sequence, I've added one, two, three. So by sequence, it is going to do the sequential applying the files like number one, two, and three. So if I navigate to the section, this namespace, you see now namespace logging is available. So we have our logging pod of Fluent bit is available, and we are going to see the logs. You're seeing that why we have one pod deployed, because is the daemon set, and we have only one node cluster. So if you navigate to this section, you see we have only one node. So that's why if you have three nodes, it is a daemon set is going to launch three nodes. So I have to check the logs of this as well. So the process has pretty much started, right? Everything seems to be okay. And one thing left, we should how we can access this guy. So we have already spin up the VPN for that. So I'm going to provide the passphrase, right? So let's try to access that particular VPN from my local machine to that particular VPC. So I should be able to that I should be able to access that particular uh, VPC. So I'm in that particular VPC. So it is going to without allow me access without password, because we are using the role, and we have added the ARN of our user. So it is going to use the STS, which is the token service of our AWS. You see, I'm able to access it, and this is the URL for Kibana, and just try to reload it. and you will be seeing that I'm able to access the Kibana as well. So, because we are now in that particular VPC, because this EC2 actually launched in that particular VPC, right? And just refresh it, you will see. Okay, it's not enabled to fetch anyway, but this is the setup we have done. So, okay, so what we are going to do now, do the testing that, okay, so explore my own. You need to navigate to the section discover, right? And we are going to add create index. I mean, star dash, you see, and just popped up below us, below this guy, Fluent dash bit, and okay, you see, everything seems to be good now. And now we are actually in a phase that we are going to do the testing, create an index, right? So let's do that. So everything is, you see, secure, and you can add and uh, as many user add to the VPN and add those user ARN to that particular policy which we have updated. So you see, we have our logs coming, but well, I wanna show you one test here. So in that particular readme.md, what we are going to do, we are going to simply spin up a tiny pod here of Redis. So if you navigate to the default section, we don't have any pod here. So let's try to run this guy, and you will shortly see one pod is going to be available. You see, is in pending state. Shortly, it's going to be in running state, and it is gonna send logs, and those logs should be available into this uh, Kibana. So right, so navigate to this section, discover and add a filter. And if you just click this guy, the filter is going to be like Kubernetes container name. So keyword and container name, right? And I'm going to type the name Redis here, right? And just save it. So, okay, so you see we have Redis available, and you see the date and the timestamps. So what you need to do, simply click this guy and you will see all the table section, and you see the logs related to that particular container, which namespace it has been deployed. You see this is the namespace default, and if you can see the logs from here as well. So you can see the logs from here as well, right? And definitely you can click those and you will see all the details, the time span, timestamps, logging, and everything regarding your pods which you want to see. That is what you want to see regarding your application. So this is the logging. So guys, this is how you can do the deployment through Terraform. Everything is automated, deployed, successfully tested our setup as well, and we have set up a VPN which is very secure, and it is only accessible through the VPN which is protected. VPNs is set up in Docker container. So that is it, guys. If you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe the channel, and have a nice day.